Hello. Hello. Let's see if we're live. Are we live? Y'all, I got to get my shirt in this one today. This is like the message of the century, okay? um, and I love it. And I bought it off of, I need to remember the Instagram page of the young woman that I bought this from. But I bought a couple of shirts from her, and I love them. And I love this shirt. Black women often imitated, never duplicated. I'm not sure um, if that comes up reversed or not for you guys, but I'm going to give it like one hot minute, and then I am going to get started. I'm going to be looking over here because I have my monitor over here. So, how are y'all doing today? That's the big question. So here in Atlanta, it's kind of rainy, and I'm hoping that the power stays on because I think we're getting a little bit of that hurricane stuff that's coming on. Okay, I am seeing myself live on my screen, so I think that we are live in general. So hopefully you guys can see me, hear me. If you are jumping in live and want to interact, this is definitely a time to do that so that I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. However, I'm going to talk to myself if I need to, because I just have a few things to say. This may not be, I don't even know why I preface it that way, because let's be real, I may use the entire 30 minutes, or I may be able to just kind of get my thoughts out pretty quickly, and then we can all be on our way today. So what I wanted to talk about today, let me pull all of my notes. Look, I even brought out the Post-it notes today. So just so y'all know, I do spend a little bit of time kind of crafting what I want to share with you guys, because I do really, even if you're not watching this live and you happen to catch this in a replay, or it could be 3 weeks from now and you happen to stumble across this, like I really do want it to make sense, and hopefully it's something that that will help you in the moment that you're in. So, a lot of times you'll see on social media and somebody will post something and they'll be like, oh, I needed to see this, or I needed to hear this. And so this may not be the message that you want to hear today, or that is the message that is for you today. But it may be down the road, or it may be when you get around to watching this, it's the exact time that you needed to hear it. So, with that said, I am going to just double check on my phone just to make sure that that I can see y'all. I'm just always paranoid that I'm going to have these conversations. Not paranoid, but it does take time to talk it out. So I want to make sure that y'all can see me and hear me and all that good stuff. All right. So let's dive in. So the title, I think what I titled this was, when's the last time you took inventory on your life? And that's probably, you're like, Sylvia, that's really random. And why are we talking about this today? And what does this have to do with anything? And I honestly think it's a really relevant topic. And I think that it's something that I hope I can spread throughout this Hustle Inspired community, the importance of taking an inventory on your life. And so just to kind of I almost forgot to do something that I meant to do. I want to shout out my husband, Andre, whose birthday was yesterday, and my younger brother, Brandon, whose birthday is today. He turns 40 years old today. So, two of the men in my life, I have a lot of men in my life. I'm surrounded by a lot of men in my life, but two of my really important men in my life are celebrating birthdays, and I just want to celebrate their life this week. and the amazing men and fathers and brothers and all of that they are. So I know it's like Women Crush Wednesday, but they're my men crushes. So happy birthday to my husband Andre and to my brother Brandon. Yes. Okay. Back to the topic. Hey Sheila, thanks for joining me, girl. Okay, so in my life, and I'm sure you all are a lot like me, I've held numerous retail jobs in my life. I worked at the Gap in college. I worked at a greeting card store for a period of time, which, I hated that job. But at the same time, like, that was back when I was, really, really into my hustle. Well, I'm always into my hustle, but so I had this crazy job at this greeting card store, and people would come in and, oh, can you, this is so and so's birthday, and do you have a perfect card for that? I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so I've worked at the Gap. I've worked at a retail store. My first job out of college, I worked for Frito Lay. Which, you wouldn't associate that with retail, but still, like, what I'm about to talk with you about is very relevant to that. So a big part of any retail function is that there are different times throughout the year that you take inventory, right? So I used to hate doing inventory, especially when I was in the greeting card store, because we literally had to count. Y'all, if you can imagine, every single card, you had to count it, you had to tag it, you had to do all of that. All the little like trinket stuff, when you go into greeting card stores and they have little random trinket gift items. I hated doing inventory. I hated the minutia of it all. I hated having to count all these different cards. I may or may not have been accurate. I started to estimate, like, it wasn't my thing. But when I worked at the Gap, like, we had to pull every piece of denim off the wall, and you had to count how many of this style, how many of that style. I mean, just really, really tedious, right? But so crucial to the business and the health of the business, because doing inventory meant that you were seeing what you had on hand, seeing how that measured up to what you were supposed to have, learning more about, are there discrepancies? Was there loss? Like in inventory, that's when you really found out, hey, there's people that are stealing, things. And because what you're supposed to have and what you counted up didn't match with, what your sales looked like. And so just that whole process of taking inventory and all the things that inventory can uncover. And so why do we take an inventory? One, it helps you keep track of what you have. So when you are taking, counting up all that denim on the wall, you know exactly how many pairs of relaxed fit, whatever you have, right? This is going to all come together in a second, so bear with me. It helps you identify discrepancies, right? It helps you understand like what's missing. It helps you understand like, hey, there has been some loss, or maybe it's employee loss, maybe it's customer theft. But doing an inventory on a regular interval will help uncover those things. It helps you understand what's moving and what's not. So if the last time you did inventory, you had 12 of the relaxed fit acid washed denim. I don't know. I'm making this part up, but and then the next time you do it, you have 11 pairs of the same style jean. Like you realize, hey, these aren't moving as fast. This has stalled. This is not, this particular style is not serving our customers. They don't like it. They don't want it. And the other thing about inventory is just helps you understand how to plan. So when you know more about what's moving, what's not, what you're losing, what you're, all of those different aspects, then you know how to plan for the next season, for the next shipment, for the next whatever. So I hope you guys kind of get where I'm heading in terms of giving those types of examples. So Love to define the word that I'm really trying to hit home, which is inventory. So when I looked up the word inventory, basically the noun version is it's a complete list of items such as property, goods in stock, or the contents of a building. But basically, inventory is like, what are all of those things that you're trying to keep track of or manage? Um, in this situation, it's within a retail store. With what I want to talk about, it's within your life and within you personally. The verb version of inventory is to make a complete list of. And so when you're taking inventory, you're making a list of all of those things that you want to manage, that you want to track, that you want to prepare for. So, with that said, I want to encourage you all today. Here we are. We are in the middle of September. October is literally knocking on our door, which puts us full on into the last quarter of the year, the last 3 months of 2020. Y'all, we are going to get through 2020. But we've got to, we've got to have a plan. And I just feel like this is such a crucial time of the year to plan. Even if COVID or all of this stuff never happened, this is the time of the year where we can sit in reflection on what went well, what moved, what didn't in our life this year, but then we still have 3 months left to be able to figure out, okay, well, if this didn't move, what adjustments can we make in order to finish strong? And what can we do differently that will set us up moving into the next year? So um so there's a couple of things that I really want you all to focus on as it relates to the inventory that you should be taking in your life right now. And it's three. Honestly, it's a lot of things, right? There's a lot of things in our life that we could be taking inventory on. I want you guys to focus on three. These are the three that I really work to focus on a lot. And I feel like if I can get these three things really tightened up, then all of the other things seem to fall into place. So the first thing that I want you guys to take inventory on is your energy and managing your energies, right? We're given energy every day. Sometimes it's good energy, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's bad. I'm sorry, sometimes it's high energy, sometimes it's low. Um, but nevertheless, it's energy. Sometimes that energy comes more from a physical energy. Other times it's more of an emotional and a mental energy. So when I talk about energy, I'm really talking about all of that, because I think that getting really in tuned with your energy flow is crucial. Like, you've got to understand, how much energy are you working with today? Because you're going to need to, and are you losing energy? Are there places that when you start doing inventory, you realize, man, like, I felt like I had a lot of energy, but then I realized that there are things in my life that are taking my energy and depleting my supply. Um, and so it's really, really important to understand and do those check-ins with yourself. So, just some questions to ask yourself around energy. Like, am I waking up feeling energized and excited about the day? That's a question you ask yourself. If the answer is no, then there needs to be some follow up. Like, why am I not waking up with energy? We're human beings. We should have energy, right? We should have a certain level of energy when we wake up in the morning. If we're not feeling that, then we need to start asking ourselves why. Is it the food that we're eating? Is it the sleep that we're not getting? Is it the mental stress, emotional something that is sucking the energy out of you, and it is not allowing you to get the restful sleep, and literally just weighs on you, just stalls your energy. Energy is meant to flow. Head to toe, in and out, all of that energy is meant to flow. Like, have you ever walked into a room and you maybe, like, you just tell the energy is really low in the room, and you feel it, yeah, like that happens all the time, especially in the dance fitness world. You can walk into a class and you can feel the energy when you walk in, good or bad. Like sometimes you'll walk into the class and you can just feel that everyone's excited and they're happy to be there, and that energy fuels you as well. So, yeah, energy, taking an inventory on your energy. Do you have the kind of energy that you want to do the things that you want to do in life? Well, um, do you have individuals in your life that are, attacking that energy, taking that energy? Do you need to set some boundaries? Managing your energy and taking a constant inventory of where you are is so important. So that's just an encouragement for you all today, because it is very easy for us to just go, 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 especially as women. We just go, 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 go until we don't go. And then it's at that point we are so depleted of energy. It doesn't matter if we're checking in with ourselves. We don't even have the time to check in with ourselves or the energy to check in with ourselves. So take some inventory on your energy. Second is take some inventory on your relationships. And I'm not just talking romantic relationships, I'm talking about friendships. I'm talking about colleagues that you work with. I'm talking about the people that you go to church with. I'm talking about the people that you interact with in your life, the relationships that you have, in whatever spectrum they are. It could be as close as the relationship you have with your spouse, or the relationship you have with your best friend, or the relationships that you just have. But relationships and taking inventory on those is so important, because sometimes it's the relationships that we're either trying to hold on to and have a lot of, are the very ones that are affecting us and that we might need to let go. So if you have friendships and somebody that you were like, man, like this is my good friend, this is my close friend, but then you realize that over time this close friend, when you do that inventory, like, are they positive in my life? Are they encouraging to me? Do they cheer for me? Do they root for me? Are they envious of my success? Are they questioning my decisions? Like, if these types of things surface in relationships that you're having, like, it might be time to do some inventory on that relationship. Maybe that person has changed. Maybe there's things that are going on in their life. And so it's a great opportunity to say, hey, maybe I need to create some boundaries with this person. Maybe they're going through a season that doesn't align with my season. And so for this season of life, or for right now, I am going to have to create some boundaries. So taking some inventory on those relationships, so important, you guys. Really, really understanding who's filling you up, who's filling your cup up, and who is draining you. And if you can get really good about checking in with those relationships, I think that that's a positive thing. The last area that I want you guys to focus on in terms of doing some inventory right now is your health and your wellness. And y'all know I'm going to encourage this all the time, because everything starts with where we are health-wise and physically. And if we are not doing the things that we know we need to do to stay healthy and well up here and otherwise, you know, nothing else falls into place. So, are there things in your health and wellness inventory, the retail store of you? Are there things in your health and wellness that are missing, that maybe aren't adding up? Um, and what can you do to correct those or check in with those? So I know for me personally, I do a ton of cardio. I could do 90 minutes of a commit class. I'd be tired, but then I can do I could barely do, I took a class last week and I could barely do a 30-second plank. I don't even think I got to 10 seconds. And I know it's like planks are sometimes mind over matter, but in that moment, I realized when I was doing some inventory on my physical wellness, I realized I don't have the core strength that I want to have. And so that is something that in that moment, I was like, note to self, I need to focus on strength. As much as I enjoy cardio and dance, strength training is an area that I need to, do some inventory on, do some work on. And so I think in that moment, it was stepping out, doing a different class, learning where my weaknesses are was the inventory that I needed to say, okay, Sylvia, you've got to figure out how to incorporate some more of that into your life. Um, so the three things, just if you're listening to this and you want to kind of get some tangible things that you can take, three things that I really want you guys to just take some inventory on. And that is your energy, how you're using that energy. Do you have enough? Do you have too much? There's a lot of us that have too much. Sometimes I feel that I have too much energy and I struggle with rest. So that's also another thing where I'm like, I got too much energy. I got too many things I'm trying to do. I'm here, I'm there, and I need rest. I got too much energy because I'm not giving myself what I need from a rest standpoint. So that's just another personal example. But let's inventory our energy. Let's inventory our relationships. So important to inventory those relationships. And then constant inventories on our health and wellness. And guys, I don't know what the magic frequency is of when you should do these inventories. Part of me says it's a daily thing. But if you look at the retail world, usually there's like a quarterly inventory and then you have that big year end inventory. Anyone that has worked in retail, you can like nod your head and be like, yes. But I don't know like what that is for you, but that's another part of this. Like figure out when do you want to check in with yourself and do these personal inventories. um, Taking inventory just helps you determine, like, if we're putting it back in the retail, world, it's like taking regular inventory helps you know what you need to order, what you need more of. Okay. It tells you how often are you going to need this? And then just about availability, like how much of what you need is available. And you only discover those things when you're taking like that personal inventory. Guys, you must take time to inventory your life, to check in with yourself, to get real with yourself. If you have that close, confident friend, spouse, partner, whomever that is willing to tell you about you because they know you, like you got to listen. You've got to listen to some of those things. So, couple of tactical things if you want to write this down, or I can put them in the comments. But if you want to just do like, what's the basic, Sylvia? Like, I'm listening to you, I hear what you're saying, like what can I do to take this and just kind of put it right into place? So I have just a couple of questions that you can ask yourself on a daily basis, a weekly basis as you're planning for the week, or whenever you determine is the frequency for you to check in. But these are the questions. One, did I celebrate my success? So at the end of the day, when you're closing your eyes, is there something that you can celebrate? Yeah, like I answered every single email that came my way today, or whatever that is. I got my workout in today. I drank all my water. Y'all, this has been sitting underneath my desk for the past 2 weeks at this point. I need to focus on this. I need to take an inventory of my water drinking, but yeah, did I celebrate my successes for the day, week, month, however you want to celebrate that? Did I honor my boundaries? This one is really important. This is when we don't honor our boundaries is when we start losing things, right? That's the loss prevention part of it. When we don't have somebody that is focused on making sure they're greeting customers and things like that, that's when the people start coming in and they start putting things in their pockets and affecting our inventory, right? Taking from us. So, did you honor your boundaries? Is just a great question to ask yourself every day. Did you allow that friend to call and take your energy to another place, or did you say, you know what, I'm going to call you later, or why don't you text me what you need, and create that boundary? So, did I celebrate my successes? Did I honor my boundaries? Did I act with respect towards myself and others? That's a big one too. We're not perfect people. We're going to mess up. We're going to overextend ourselves. We're going to say the wrong things, do the wrong things, regret things, all of that. But did we respect ourselves, and did we respect other people? Definitely a good question to ask ourselves. And then the last thing, and this is kind of a carryover from last week's talk about feeling overwhelmed, but did I do the best today with what I had? And if you can just ask yourself that question, did I do my best today with what I had? Did I teach my kids the best way I could in homeschooling today with the time that I had and the energy that I had? Did I teach my fitness class with, with all the energy that I wanted to give to those women? Whatever. Did I do the best? Did I care for my spouse in the way that they wanted to be cared for today? Like, those are just simple questions. You don't have to journal it out. You don't have to do anything, but just ask yourself in your head, did I do my best today? And it should be yes. Like, you should say, you know what? I did my best. Regardless of what didn't get done, what didn't happen, whoever came at you, you did your best. All right. So, to close it out, I found a really, really great quote. And I like to kind of just leave you guys with something to think on. And I will post this in the group as well. The quote's by a woman named Susan C. Young. And here it is. So it says, there will be times in your life when things simply have to be replaced because they are tired, broken, worn out, harmful, outdated, or irrelevant. Take an inventory of the things that you no longer take an inventory of the things that no longer serve your best and highest good, so you can replace them with things which do. I'm going to read that all over again because I butchered it. So, there will be times in your life when things simply have to be replaced because they are tired, broken, worn out, harmful, outdated, or irrelevant. Take an inventory of the things that no longer serve your best and highest good, so you can replace them with things which do. And so that is all I'm going to leave you guys with today. Whenever you're watching this, if you watch the replay, put it in the comments that you watch the replay. I would love to know just what you guys are thinking as it relates to this, and if you have any other ideas in terms of how to check in with yourself and how to take those inventories to make sure that you're staying on the right side of happy. At the end of the day, there's so much going on in life right now, and I know that you all are dealing with all sorts of different things, and I know that it's overwhelming and it's hard, and you feel like you're not going to see light at the end of the tunnel and all of that. And I just want to tell you that all of those feelings are valid and they're real. And, you just have, that's life. That's adulting, right? So that's why we have these platforms and these communities. And I'm just here to kind of let you all know that it's okay. It's okay to feel those things. You're not alone in feeling those things. And here's some ways that hopefully you can manage those things, because they're not going to go away, but it's how you get better about managing those things, managing your inventory, managing your energy, your relationships, your physical health, all of those things. So I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I appreciate you watching. And yeah, that's all I got. See ya. Bye.